Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea. Today we have a North American special, as in the bottom left, spawning as our blue Terran player, it is going to be a special. And in the top right, as our blues are playing for the Shopify blue Zerg, this is a red Zerg. Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea, and welcome to a North American clash here between Special in the bottom left as our blue Terran player and in the top right as our red Zerg is the one and only Scarlett playing for the Shopify Rebellion. Special opening up with his it's pretty trademark at this point, I'd say. Trademark low ground barracks. Often would, Special actually was one of the first to very consistently play these low ground barracks builds, and often even do them with things like double gas openers in the Terran versus Zerg matchup. So you'd get like 3 Reapers, 2 Hellions, no problem, and start just pumping out these very aggressive units, trying to deal as much damage as he could with often to pretty decent success. Then I think it was Marauder who kind of invented a double Rex Reaper type of play, and Beyond who really popularized it. And now I feel like it's so common to see all buildings starting on the low ground for Terran. I think it at least I think a conservative estimate would be like maybe 35 or 40% of the games we see low ground buildings as just pretty much the standard, the initial standard setup coming out of Terran. But let's not dwell too much on that, as we're gonna see a proxy Rex. It's gonna be a single gas 2 Rex Reaper, second barracks proxied, usually meaning 4 to 5 Reapers initially. Could be 3, although that is unlikely. Usually want to build at least 2 Reapers out of this bad boy. It's going to allow Special to get quite a bit of damage done. Or potentially to get quite a bit of damage done, because these Reapers are gonna pop in very, very quickly. And that really is the beauty of this particular proxy, is that the second Reaper hits really, really fast. So I think it hits a little bit after the first Reaper hits, like maybe 5 or 6 seconds later, but it allows you to put on a lot of pressure on the Zerg, and that can be quite scary. If you're the Zerg player, of course, it can be exciting if you're the Terran. It can also be scary if you're the Terran, if you don't control, if you don't control the Reapers well, you're not very confident in your own Reaper control. Second Reaper is about to pop out. It's indeed going to be there about 5 seconds after this bad boy arrives. He's going to just micro towards that side. Look at that. Still has a solid 10 seconds unchecked without a queen being there. It's going to be capable of taking out at least a couple of links, I'd say. Yeah, more than just a couple. It's going to take out 3 for now. Gonna get the 4th as well. We don't have an inject yet, so that's going to be delayed too. No creep tumor either. Oh, Reapers do get to escape, but that was a little bit closer perhaps than Special would have wanted. It's actually just gonna stick with a single Reaper then, rather than a second one out of that barracks as well. That does surprise me. He's just gonna bring the total amount of Reapers up to 3. Factory starts at home, as well as triple CC. All right. So it's just a triple CC follow-up. Really nice build order. This is similar to what we've seen before. That doesn't make it any worse, though, as he's gonna get the jump in towards the main base as well. Evo Chamber Wall is just a bit too late here out of our Canadian Zerg. And speed not quite done yet either. Scarlett taking much more damage than we usually see Zergs take against these type of Reaper builds. Drones now need to be pulled off the line as well, as we're gonna have another attack in towards the main. Honestly, Special's control so far has been nothing short of phenomenal. He's gonna get caught eventually, but forcing away so much mining time. Maybe we can throw one more grenade. No, doesn't quite manage, but holy crap, this was an insane amount of damage here that was dealt. A lot of indirect damage, namely. 9 links total have been killed, 1 drone has been killed, and 3 Reapers have gone down. But I think the real banger is the fact that a lot of mining time was lost in the natural, quite a bit of mining time was lost in the main as well. Scarlett, however, did manage to escape with a low link count. So, yes, she lost 9 links, but at the same time also only has 3 links remaining right now, which is a very nice number to have remaining. You always want to have the lowest amount of units possible to deal with whatever threat of your Zerg, because Zerg is the only race that in order to produce workers needs to cut out units and vice versa. So the moment Zerg is building links, they can't be building drones, which is obviously the reason why you need to be stopping that. Stopping the link production as soon as you can, so you can get more cash. As Scarlett now is actually in a much more comfortable position than I had imagined. One of the reasons for that is because We see Special opening up with double Cyclones. Cyclones take a little bit longer than Hellions do, and they're also not quite as comfortable out on the map. So that means that this could have, for example, been like pretty much 6 Hellions at this point, and you can start moving pretty comfortably on the map with 2 Hellions or 4 Hellions. 2 Cyclones by themselves on the map is really scary. It feels like a decent commitment, and they get killed easily. They're not quite as quick as the Hellion. So yeah, always gotta kind of keep that in mind. Special really only built 4 factory units here. Yeah, seems to be the case. So just went for those 2 Hellions, those 2 Cyclones, wants to maybe force out a round of Lynx, which kind of happened. Scarlett hasn't seen the swap back yet for the barracks being on the reactor. Ooh, cancels that reactor. That was a huge blunder. Yeah, that was a misclick here out of Special. It's gonna delay his production by quite a bit. Reactors take a long time to build, and that one was almost done. I do kind of like... I'm not sure if I like the follow-up. It's a fine follow-up. I think I prefer higher factory unit counts, because I feel like Scarlett really is getting away with murder here. 9 Lynx only in the early game. And she lost 9 as well, but that's only 18 in a 6-minute game already. Feels like that's too little defensive investment here out of our Zerg player. And I think the Terran could have done a better job forcing a bit more. So although I like the idea of having some Cyclones, the idea of the scout denial, at the end of the day, I think Scarlett just didn't care enough. Overlord hasn't gone in, by the way, to go for a rescout, which is somewhat surprising to me. +1 armor now finishing up. Evo chambers are very late on the Zerg side of things. Very late on the Zerg side of things. This is going to be a tech lab on that factory. We're going to have armory finishing up as well. I mean, these upgrades are going to be racing to 3-3 for Special. He's going to start moving on the map with a bunch of these Marines. Fort base on the 3 o'clock for Scarlett. Not really in any serious danger because the roach count is just so good. 11 roaches versus 22 Marines, with Queens being there as well. Of course, the 1-1 upgrades are an issue, but without Combat Shield, I think these roaches will just be fine. With Combat Shield, maybe need to be a little bit careful here, as the Marine damage output is, of course, very good. Combat Shield does end up finishing. I wonder if Special's planning on just sending these tanks across the map, or what he wants to do, I'm not quite sure. Adds in... Oh, this is 7 wrecks already. I'm sorry, I completely missed that. But he's pumping Marauders already. So he's gonna have 3 Tech Lab Marauder production here. I reckon he's gonna get his concussive shell as well. I mean, it feels like he might be setting up for a bit of a timing attack. A bit of an all-in-y timing attack. Yes, there's gonna be a fort behind it. It's gonna hit a strong 2-2 timing, I think is going to be the goal. Fort base is being built in position on the fort. As this medevac is going to head towards the far right side. See if it can achieve anything major here. It should be capable of achieving something at least. There are a couple of groups of units on the map. For Special, we saw some presence here in the middle. Was he forced into cancelling that command center? What happened here? I saw the CC going down on the mini-map. Why did he cancel that? Units were nearby. He's going to rebuild it here on the high ground. Scarlett still thinks it's here. So it's not Scarlett that killed it. Wait a second. Where did you go, buddy? A little bit confusing here to start things off with. First that reactor cancel, then the CC cancel. 7 Marauders are in this army already, as it's indeed going to be a +2 timing attack. Infestors are nearby. And we're one big fungal away from this party just ending. This is the police showing up before you even opened your beers. They're still looking for the glasses. I go, what is this? This party never really kicked off, as Special's just gonna get pushed back. These biles almost get the connect as well. 8 Marine drop is dealing quite a bit of damage, much more than I'd anticipated. Gonna get 8 drones and a queen and a ling and a half as well on top of that. Fort base is just so late. The one good thing here for Special is that Scarlett didn't quite manage to drone up to 82, 83 yet. This was still a 74 drone Zerg, which is not the greatest number. But supply-wise, I mean, it's looking quite good. 192 supply to 148. Resources lost is really close as well, which is also not a good look for Terran usually. Adrenal Glands is about to finish up as we're going to have a transition into melee upgrades from here on out rather than sticking with range. Tanks in the back actually dishing out a crap ton of damage here. +1 vehicle weapons is done already as well. +2 surely soon to start. The fort base is now landing, but that's 10 minutes in game. That is extremely late, as it's gonna turn into an orbital as well. Rather than a planetary, here come Ravagers. We'll take out one of these tanks once more. Ravager count is still very healthy. I wonder if we're gonna see an Ultra Cavern. Ooh, attacking up a ramp here, that seems risky. That seems very risky. No +2 carapace quite yet either. Don't think this is possible at all here for Scarlett to try and push up that ramp. Need to have some type of flank if you want to do this, or Vipers. I think with Vipers this might be a viable play, but without Vipers, not so much. Special supply continues to grow, by the way, as he gets a random amount of units here in towards the 5th or the 6th base. I'm not even sure what it is. He's going to take out a couple of drones, but doesn't get to evacuate these units, and that's not necessarily a great trade. Gold is already being mined from here for Scarlett, who's now setting up a Ling run by. Is Scarlett aware of the fact that this is an orbital? Yes, most definitely. That means that this tank is going to get taken out. Lings are going to get split off. And with Adrenal Glands, we'll start biting these SCVs to death at a very high pace. It pains me to see the Terran kind of being run around like this. Usually it's the Terran in this phase of the game that's the one in control. That's not the case here at all, as Scarlett pops in forward. 60 Marines now heading towards the far right side. We're still working with an upgrade advantage for the Terran. There's no Banelings defensively either, and this drop could prove to be quite bothersome here, as Fungals are hitting these Marauders and Marines. And this drop is actually dealing quite a bit of damage. Look at the supplies as well. 155 right now to 159. More Lings flooding in. With Adrenal trying to get some good trades, but not quite getting it. If Special finds these drones, that would be a huge deal. But Special for now just ignoring that. Drones get to escape. They're going to be very glad. Yes, their home has been destroyed, but rather their home than their lives, as they can just long distance mine for a little bit and rebuild that hatchery. Losing 20 drones there would have been not the end of the game, but it would have been fairly bad. Wouldn't have been the end of the game because the larva count is phenomenal. Injects have been good. Amount of hatcheries is very solid. We have Vipers for parasitic bombs, so these drops are going to get taken out. That is not an issue. 10 drones have died somewhere. I'm not quite sure where. Behind all of this, by the way, Special has been supply blocked for quite a while now. Is still not building any depots. It's going to remain supply blocked. Oh, wait, he is actually. Sorry. 2 depots here who just went down. But that is the full supply block. Has... yeah, just a bunch of units queued up already as well. So you know that, yeah, he's, look at that, 3 tanks. 5 tanks being queued up currently that aren't being built. So it says he isn't floating as much, but in reality, I mean, if you queue 5 units, yeah, you're floating quite a bit. Once again, moves into another supply block. This supply block is, this is a game-ending type of supply block. You can't just be supply block for like a minute and a half straight. That is not really how StarCraft 2 works. StarCraft is a mechanical game as well. Special's gonna buy a little bit of time for himself with this drop. It's actually gonna get a lot of damage. These drops have dealt so much damage. 32 workers gone down already in this game. And don't forget that there was really hardly any worker damage in the first 7, 8, or 9 minutes. It's all been in those past 3-4 minutes where just these single drops. It's been very committed single drops. Usually one of the benefits of being a Terran player is that you can pick up those drops, but Special just trades out his units for more and more drones, as he's now adding in these ghosts as well. How many factories are we actually working with? Are we still on 2? Yeah, 2 factories. We have no second vehicle weapon upgrade quite yet. That does surprise me just a tiny bit. As here comes another Fungal. It's gonna connect with, well, actually quite a bit. Much more than I thought. And then the Biles coming in as well. Doing a good job. We have some burrowed infestors. It is 4 base versus 7. A Special with another 8 Marine drop that's gonna move in here. Spore Spy not in position. I love how attentive Special is to making sure that these drops don't fly into static defense. Now gonna take out a bunch of workers already. And trying to hopefully keep this drop alive. Could go for a pickup and then to the natural. That's 12 workers going down. And more workers surely to follow, as Scarlett not with a very quick response at all. He's now going to move out across the map, but there's a lot of tanks here defensively. Hardly any medevacs though. But there's no high ground vision, and that means that these drops, or these Marines and Marauders, could potentially deal some damage on the gold. That's exactly what's gonna happen here. Going for drones, going for spores, going for hatcheries. And gonna get everything. Parasitic Bomb might kill one of these. Ooh, might kill both of these if Special decides not to micro, and he decides not to micro indeed. Both medevacs going down. This drop still active. We'll take out, well, half an extra drone, and it's gonna redrop on the left side. Special kind of trying to get back into this game, and I think it might just be working as more and more workers here are falling. Scarlett completely getting outplayed here in this stage of the game against some simple single or dual medevac harassment. Still up in bank at least. Still up in army supply as well. But the army composition here, consisting of basically just pure Ravager, Roach, Infestor, half an Ultra and 2 Vipers. Yeah, it's gonna be very difficult. Medevac count is low. There's just a single medevac with this army, which is really quite bad for Special. That means all of these units are gonna die. This is a serious commitment here. It's gonna need to stim again. That means that these units are gonna fall extremely low. A single fungal could end all of them. Blinding Cloud, perhaps. No, both Vipers do get sniped though. Special still with very high supply. This was a phenomenal move. At the same time, we have another attack without medevacs altogether. This is a medevacless Terran, which is extremely rare to see. 17 drones going down, Fungal's gonna connect. And yeah, Scarlett has legit just been getting outplayed for the last 2.5, 3 minutes. The lead that was once there for the Shopify Zerg is now, well, I don't want to say practically disappeared, but it is largely gone. I mean, we're still working with a primitive Roach Ravager Infestor army. The only thing that Special really is lacking is the ability to keep his units alive. Because that has definitely been the trend so far. Special trading army for eco. Because overall, these resources lost don't even look that bad for Zerg. That surprises me. It really does surprise me. I thought it's going to look much, much worse for the Zerg. Of course, a factor in that being is the fact that the worker count is so low for Zerg. So then you're always going to be more efficient if you have a bigger army than your opponent, right? 2 ghosties now moving forward. Funglers, are they nearby? Ooh. Special seeing this. Gonna run back with these ghosts to safety. At the same time just going for a base trade. It seems like that's just his style, is that whenever he's being attacked, he just sends everything across the map and starts killing stuff in the hope that the opponent doesn't, isn't in the right position. This is pretty scary though. I think this will need to be a full-on retreat, and if these Fungals actually get the hit, that would be fairly bad. As 2 Infestors, 1 gets sniped. Second Infestor does get to unburrow in time. We have 1 more Fungal in there. It's not going to get the connection. So these Ultras continue chasing this Bioforce. Tanks on the high ground helping out. There's still a lot of Ravagers. There's a bunch of Ultras there. We see 4 tanks continuously firing right now. As the Ultras on the bottom side are being very annoying for the Terran. But everything up top feels scary for Zerg. Running away from here as well also feels scary, because snipes will go down. Ship weapons level 1 finishing up. 5 lips on the way at a time. Advanced ballistic coming out as well. Resources loss-wise, fairly close. Gas bank practically non-existent at this point after this fight for Scarlett. What we really need right now is a couple of turrets, as well as the 6th base going up. Special just continues expanding again and again and again, as this Infestor's gonna, well, not get sniped, but at least lose all of its energy for the useful spells. Couple of tanks now sieging up, or should siege up at least. Not quite what's happening yet. Parasitic Bomb is hitting Big Blinding Cloud as well. On top of all of them, Ghost. Tanks unsieged, still dealing a lot of damage. Liberators haven't sieged up yet either. It's just kind of sitting there in the air. So now we're gonna get a couple of sieges with these lips. There's no serious anti-air, so Biles will need to be used to try and deal with the lips. This was an okay fight here for Scarlett, I think. Resources lost says yes. And I say yes. Then we get a double confirmation, basically. But the army quality here of Special is increasing rapidly. Needs to be careful, though. Isn't microing his Ghost. Once again, no medevacs in this force means that these units can't just easily be evacuated. It's not a whole lot of backup here. Every single Ghost is gonna fall. This fight almost feels like an afterthought, and it feels like Special had already gone to sleep temporarily, taking a quick nap. Scarlett's like, no, actually, we're still fighting. That's not a fair fight if one of them is sleeping. That's so weird. It felt like at this point Special was safe, Special was in the clear. He needed like 10 more seconds to properly set up. And he didn't get those 10 seconds. And now all of a sudden we're 188 supply to 113. Where about half a minute ago we were looking at these supplies. They were very close. And we were looking at a very nice army value. Very solid army composition coming out of Special. Now it feels like Scarlett is just going to pounce on this opportunity to take out Special here. His orbital's not going to get lifted. Special will be reset back to basically 1.5 mining base. That bottom base probably should be the next priority here for Scarlett. I'm a bit surprised. Tried to go in towards the natural. That seems like a mistake, if anything. So now these turrets are being taken out. We still have a fungal boy in the back. As this planetary is sure to fall as well. With the adrenal glands links, with the ultras. These SCVs should not be capable of out-repairing it. And there it goes indeed. 111 supply to 187. Special in a world of trouble. He's gonna, well, yeah, just gonna lose the game here. Down 100 supply. Still has one more 8 marine drop sent to the other side. What an absolutely wild game. 85 drones versus 68 SCVs being lost. And I think that's going to be all she wrote. I can't imagine a way for Special to come back in this game. It's actually impossible. And it's actually just legit impossible. 128 to 62 supply. There's still a bank as well. And there's just... If there was like 20 ghosts here, I'd say, maybe, a couple of snipes. Scarlett falls asleep once or twice, but it's just a pure bio-liberator army, which is not even that good against what Scarlett currently has. So I'm absolutely zero worried. GG gets called. Scarlett wins this game. And that, my dear friends, is going to be it for me. I hope you all enjoyed this. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see all of you next time for a new video. Thanks, and bye-bye.